So basically, let's share the link. I'm working on the street, guys, but I currently have nothing to do. But today I must work on the streets. I'll make sure I keep this short and simple. Am I loud and clear? Let me know. Am I loud and clear? Am I loud and clear? Today, I'm working from the street, so it would be very hard for me to stay here longer. But I must make sure that this Zoom happens. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, your success in the business will depend 90% on when you make your first entry in the market. Your success in the business will depend 90% on when you make your first entry in the market. And so, before you think of a lot of things, it is very important for you to make sure that your first entry in the market, you treat it as important as everything to do with your business. The first time your robot makes an entry in the market is the most important thing you need for you to succeed. If you make a wrong entry, number one, you will find yourself staying long hours in trades. Can you hear me? You'll find yourself staying long hours in trades. And to me, it is very important for you to make sure, even if you're not good at technical analysis, it is very important for you to make sure that your first buying amount is treated as everything you need in your business. If your first buying amount is not treated critically, this business will not work for you. Can you hear me? Just to reconfirm. And so, you can do all things, but make sure before you tap the word activate, when have you made the entry? Before you tap on the word activate, the most important thing that you need not to dream about, that you need not to think about, is when you have made your entry in the what? In the market. I want to promise you, ladies and gentlemen, if your entry is wrong, if your entry is not correct, ladies and gentlemen, the business will not work for you. Am I clear with the first statement? Am I clear with the first statement? Am I clear with the first statement? So, before you plan to get excited with how much you want to make, before you plan to get excited with how much you want to invest, by the way, the amount of first buying amount on the other side may not be so important as long as your entry in the market, you treat it as important as nothing else in this world. If you enter in the market, you are not treating it critical. I want to promise you, you will always have issues. So today, being a Wednesday, we treat your entry in the market as a very important aspect when it comes to our business. And anyone I want to promise you who does not take this very critical, you will always have issues with this business. If you want to make more money, you want to get out of trades faster, you want to make sure that your profits are huge, when you enter the market, it's very important. Ladies and gentlemen, when you make a good entry, number one, you'll get out of trades faster. When you make a good entry, number two, you will not float for long. When you make a good entry, number three, you will never have issues with the market. So you can joke with everything, but your first buying amount is everything to you. You could like to make how much money, but your first time you are entering the market should look everything to you. If you cannot figure out when to enter the market, then this business is not for you. Now, there are several ways in which we can make entries in the market. And these several ways could differ from one person to another. Number one, a person may decide to do what we call TA, technical analysis. Another person could decide to do FA, fundamental analysis. Another person could decide to do CA, or what we call on-chain analysis. In all the analyses that could be done, what is becoming critical into everything is when you make an entry in the market. Ladies and gentlemen, the use of AI or artificial intelligence brings this to a reality. Artificial intelligence perspective, I told you today, I'm working on the streets. I have nothing to do for now, but I'll spend very little time here but to make sure that you all understand. All right, guys. Okay. Sorry for that. Now, I don't care about your settings. I don't care about your first buying amount. Those could be other classes. What is most important? When are you entering the market? Now, here we are not going to base on on-chain data. When I talk about on-chain data, I'll show you an application that can help you. But I think on Friday this week I'll be available to just dig deep. So let me show you an app. Where are you? Where are you? Just a minute. You know, apps are very many here. I need to be specific on one that I'm looking for. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh my goodness. I'm not able to see this car thing here. But let me not dig into on-chain data. I think I will spare time for that specifically. Now, uh, let me come here to Royal Q. On Royal Q here, Royal Q is saying there are three types of indicators. Number one, we have what we call real-time indicators. And these are basically two. Number one is the relative strength index or the stochastic RSI. Number two is the KDJ. Now, these two indicators give you data according to what is happening in the market right now. And if you learn how to use them very well, it will be very easy for you to maximize a lot of profit. Let me dig deep. The RSI and the KDJ move from 0 to 100%. They move from 0 to 100%. Basically, it means that this particular trade you have chosen to trade has been able to move from 0% and it has risen 100%. Question of the day. Would you like to participate in a trade that has delivered 100%? That's the first question of the day. Let me know in the chat. Would you like to invest in your money in a trade that has risen 100%? Please make sure you give feedback so that we don't spend a lot of time here. Why would you not make such a decision? Simply because there are higher chances of the market going against you than you winning that particular trade. For example, I'll open the number one leading trade for today called RDR. This is the trade. And we are going to just look at the RSI. And look here, guys. The RSI is here. If you check your Royal Q, you'll find it here. Although it's not the indicator I'm going to discuss today. And this RSI comes in three different types. There is an RSI of 6 that looks at the performance of the past 6 candles. There's an RSI of 12 that looks at the past 12 candles. And there is an RSI of 24 that looks at the past 24 candles. Now, the RSI of 6 is very fast. It's highly volatile because it looks at the performance of fewer candles. The RSI of 12 is moderate, and it looks at the performance of 12 candles. The RSI of 24 is not slow, it's not moderate, it's not fast. In short, it is slow. But if you would ask about the three, ladies and gentlemen, the RSI of 6 can give you false signals because it moves very fast. The RSI of 12 could give you moderate signals. But the RSI of 24, because it's slow, it's not easy for it to give you false signals. But RSI, these are just soothing lines, or these are lines that move with the momentum of the market. When the market goes up, the RSI will rise. When the market goes down, the RSI will come down. So as it is moving, it moves from 0 to 100. So to me, since it's a real-time indicator, it is not a suitable indicator, especially if you want solid signals. Why? Because for it, it moves with the movement of the market. Now let's go to KDJ. The K and D and J, okay? There are also lines. If you tap on it here, there it is. It will bring you K, it will bring you D, sorry for feedback, and it will bring you J. J just moves with the movement of the market. It's like the RSI. But there is K and D. Simple. Whenever K crosses D, K is the orange line here. Whenever K crosses D, the market always goes up. But also, these lines of K and G, KD, they move from 0 to also 100. So, Roku gives you two options. It gives you when this crossover happens, when it is less than or equal to 50, or when it is less than or equal to 30. Meaning that if the golden cross happens below or equal to 30, your robot will buy. When the golden cross happens, anything below 50. So basically, it's a good indicator, but it also moves with the movement of the market. I want to promise you one thing. Although those two indicators exist, there is one indicator that doesn't give so much false signals. And this indicator is called MACD. MACD is moving average convergence divergence indicator. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a lagging indicator. This is a lagging indicator. It does not give you real time of what is happening in the market right now. But I want to promise you one thing, it does not give so much of false signals in the market. This is one of the best indicators in your robot, that if you learn how to use it, if you learn how to make entries using this indicator, you will always be happy all the time. Am I still loud and clear? Am I still loud and clear? Give me a yes in the chat if you're still following. Am I still loud and clear? Am I still loud and clear? Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Fantastic. I'm sorry for the feedback. Today I'm working on the street. Okay, I usually don't want to give excuses. Someone says, Coach, I want to see you. Okay, I'm here. I'm the street, guys. Okay, I'm on the streets here. I'm on the streets. I got some mechanical issues. I was going somewhere and I had to make a stopover. And because I don't want to give excuses, I just found a tree, found a shed, and I'm working from here, right? So excuse me for my feedback because I don't want to give you excuses of why I'm not supposed to do my responsibility, right? Okay. All right. So now let's get back to business. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very simple indicator. Now, Royki is saying, when we talk about trading, we are talking about time frame. And time frame is everything when it comes to trading. And I simplified it in the previous classes, but I want to make it crystal clear here. Let's take an example. Above here on your chart, there is time frame. There is 15 minutes, there is 1 hour, there is 4 hours, there is 1 day, there is 1 week, there is even more. Okay, when we tap on more here, we have different other time frames. We have a line, we have 1 second, we have 1 minute, we have 3 minutes, we have 5 minutes, we have 30, we have 2 hours, we have 6 hours, we have 8 hours, we have 12 hours, we have 3 days, we have 1 month. But let me explain. Let me start with 1 month. so that you understand me. Simple, guys. How many days roughly make up a month? And I need your answers. How many days roughly make up a month? How many days roughly make up a month? Let me know. How many days roughly make up a month? In simple, ladies and gentlemen, 30 days make up a month. It means that when you check the chart in 1 month, basically here, you will see no business because each candle you see, the green representing buyers, a red representing sellers, takes a full month to form. So this is just a bigger picture. But since you have said that 30 days make up a month, it means that although we have this small candle here, this one here specifically, that makes up a month, when we go to 1 day, we shall have 30 days. So when I tap on 1 day, you see? You see? Now, when we come to 1 day, we have a very big candle for today only. But in 1 month, it's like a small dot, meaning 1 month is a bigger picture. 1 day is a small picture. Now, when we come to 1 day, we shall start asking ourselves a question. How many hours make up a day? I want to explain time frame. Okay, second question. How many hours make up a day? You know, I want you to understand these things so that you enjoy them. How many hours make up a day? 24 hours make up a day. Someone is saying 12. Guys, make sure you take some water so that you don't react from this Zoom. Someone is saying 12 hours make up a day. Which continent are you, my brother? I might not be aware. Which continent are you? Please make sure you take some water so that you don't freeze from this cold. I want to deal with people that have not frozen. So make sure, make sure if you feel like the brain is freezing, take some water. Take some water, ladies and gentlemen, so that you don't freeze from this cold. Okay? So let's go. So we have 24 hours, all right, in 1 day. So meaning this single candle here, if this was a full day, when we go to 1 hour, we shall have 24 candles. How many are connecting now? If this candle had taken a full day, let me say it has taken 24 hours. When we go to one hour here, we shall have 24 candles. So it means that in 1 day, we shall have one single candle. But in 1 hour, we shall have 24 candles. Are you following? Are you following? Are you following? Let me know. So in 1 day, we shall have one candle. But in 1 hour, we shall have 24 candles that make up one candle. Look here, guys. Let's dig deep. Let's dig deep. Now we are in 1 hour. It means that 1 hour has 60 minutes. 1 hour has 60 minutes. So it means that when we go to 1 minute, we shall have 60 candles. When we go to 1 minute, when we come here to 1 minute, when we come here to 1 minute, we shall have 60 candles that make up 1 hour. Meaning that the 1 hour is just a general big picture, but if broken down into small pieces, It has 60 candles. How many have understood time frame? How many, if you have understood the meaning of time frame, drop me one in the chat. I see we are 150. If you have understood time frame, drop me one in the chat. If you have understood time frame. So you should not get confused when you are checking a chart or any trade of your choice in a smaller time frame. You are just getting a small picture. And when you go to a bigger time frame, whatever you were seeing to be so much is compressed in one single candle. Now look here. Let me now try to compare this. Look here, guys. This is 1 minute. Generally, there is a rise in the market in 1 minute because this is a small picture. But when you go to 1 month, it looks like there is no business. Does that make sense? When you go to 1 minute, you might get excited that there is business. But when you go to 1 month, it's like there is no business. Does that make sense now? Does that make sense? When you go and look at the market in 1 month, it looks like, my friend, don't tamper with this market. The market is still going down. Give me a yes if it makes sense. But when you go to 1 minute, you're excited. It's like there is a buying opportunity. There is an opportunity for you to make money in the market. Now, what has RoyalQ done for you? RoyalQ is saying there is a common time frame that has less noise, and that is 15 minutes. It has less noise, and it has power to give you solid profits. There is less noise. There is solid movement of the market, because it means that when we look at 1 minute versus 15 minutes, we have 15 candles of 1 minute appearing as one candle in 15 minutes. Now, this is a very good time frame for you to make your entry. There is less noise, and there is solid decisions that can happen in the market. If you have understood time frame critically, so RoyalQ is saying in all time frames, they have chosen for you to make your entries in 15 minutes so that you can make consistent profits over time. Is that clear? Is that clear? Give me a 5 in the chat if that is clear. Give me a 5 in the chat if that is clear. Now, you can choose any coin of your choice and instruct this robot. Sorry for the street, guys. Sorry for the street noise. This is not what I am supposed to do. Just a humble reminder. I'm working on the street, and there will be feedback time to time. Okay? But I want to focus here so that we end in the next 20 minutes. Please, this is not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be in a silent place. But I got some challenges, and I had to park somewhere, then find ways of working with you here. So this is not how business is supposed to be done. So understand me. All right? Okay. So even I know where I'm speaking from, people don't understand what I'm doing, but it's not easy. It's not easy to stand on the street and start doing what I'm doing, but let's go. Okay? So just understand. All right. Okay. I'll share my screen again. Now, look here, guys. Let's put our focus on the MACD as our main business for today. We now understand 15 minutes. This indicator will never give you false signals. You see, this coin has risen to 60%, and the MACD is here moving. Okay. Now, the MACD is just as simple as follows. Number one, the MACD is an indicator, and this indicator has a zero line. Those of you who went to school and studied integers, it has the positive side and the negative side. So zero separates those two sides, the positive side and the negative side. And this MACD, whenever the market is moving up, it forms what we call green bars. I will use bars, but in trading, we call them histograms above the zero line. When the market comes to the negative side, it forms red bars that represent, the green bars represent the power of sellers, and the red bars represents the power of sellers. Like the word says, MACD, it causes itself moving averages. These two lines are the lines, the moving averages, these two lines. And as these moving averages move, they converge, meaning they get to each other and cross, then they diverge. They diverge from each other. You see, they have converged here, they have diverged. They have converged here, they have diverged. So that's why it's called moving averages. These two lines are the moving averages. These ones, they meet each other, and after meeting, they separate from each other. The separation is what we call the diversion. The meeting is the conversion. So when these two lines converge, they meet each other, and when they diverge, so that's why it is called the MACD. Moving averages, convergence, divergence indicator. Now, what are these moving averages? In technical analysis, moving averages are one of the most fantastic lines that form during market movement. Usually, they combine two lines of different parameters. For example, the MACD combines a 26 moving average and a 12 moving average. Number one, these lines will look at an average performance of 26 candles and an average performance of 12 candles. In short, the 26 moving average line is slow, and the 12 moving average line is fast. Now, when the faster line crosses like this is the faster line of 12, crosses a 26 line like this is called a golden cross. Versa V, so it means that I will use red to represent 12, and I will use green to represent 26. So when a 12 moving average crosses a 26 moving average, this cross here is called a golden cross. When they cross each other, it means they have converged. When they move away from each other, they have diverged. So they come together, then they part away from each other. They come together, then they part away from each other. Now, that moment where the 12, because it's a faster line, crosses and remains above is called a golden cross. Now, that point where now this was the red, it was moving above, then it crosses and goes below. Oh, I have forgotten the colors. I said so this is the red, it was moving. And the green was below. So they crossed here, the green was below now. Now, when the 26 goes above the 12, this is called a death cross. So the 12, the market was going up, because the 12 was above, because it had formed a golden cross here. When the 12 goes below and the 26 goes above, it is now called a death cross. In a golden cross, we expect the market to move up, and in a death cross, we expect the market to move down. If you have understood converging, diverging, golden cross, and death cross, give me a 5 in the chat. If you have understood converging, diverging. I'm not repeating, guys. I'm not at a very good working environment. If you have understood converging, diverging. Now, if you have understood golden cross and death cross, give me a 1 in the chat. If you have understood golden cross and death cross, give me a 1 in the chat. You now know what a golden cross means. You now know what a death cross means. Now, time for common sense. Look here, guys. Something in common that I want you to see. Look here. By color, when this orange line crossed the red line, what happened? When the orange line crossed red line or purple or pink, I don't care. But when this crossover happened here, what happened? Some answers in the chat. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Good. The market went up. The market went up. Okay. Good. Next question. When the orange line crossed and the red line went above it, what happened? What happened? What happened? The market went down. Now it means if you are to answer what is A and what is B, I want to get this done. If you are to answer what is A and what is B, answers in the chat. If you are to answer what is A, provide 2 answers and be clear. Say A is this, B is this. If you are to answer what is A and what is B, what is A and what is B, what is A and what is B. If you are to answer what is A and what is B, good. So A is a golden cross, B is a death cross. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are 169. All right. Okay. So let's go. Now, would you like to make an entry in the market at A? Would you like to make an entry in the market at B? Answers in the chat. Would you like to make an entry in the market at A? Would you like to make an entry in the market at B? Beautiful. If you are trading in the spot market, you'll make an entry at A. Even in futures, we'll trade long. If you are trading short in futures, you'll make an entry at B. Hope those points are clear. I may not dig deep into futures markets now, but let's continue now. But are we at the same angle? Are you able to understand now? So if you want the market to move up, you'll make an entry at A. If you want the market to move down, you'll make an entry at B. Now look here. Application of artificial intelligence technology, ladies and gentlemen, to make an entry for you when a golden cross happens and you checking the market and time a golden cross, which is better? Using AI intelligence to make an entry for you in the market when a golden cross happens and you checking the market to track the golden cross, which one is better? Answers in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 8 minutes to close the call. You going in the market to check different coins and find a golden cross. And you are applying the AI that when the golden cross happens, let the robot buy for you. Which one is better? AI is better. Now, why are you broke? Why are you broke? Why are you broke? Just asking for neighbor. Why are you broke? Why are you broke? Because you want to be very smart. You are broke because you want to appear very wise. Why are you broke? Now look here, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Why are you broke? Because you want to be very intelligent. You want to work hard. You think making money, you need to work hard. You are doing a lot of night prayers than applying AI. Praying is very good. But if you want to succeed, hope is not a strategy. If you want to succeed, hope is not a strategy. Okay. That was just a that was just a joking moment. But let's go now. Okay, now look here, guys. Now, the golden cross, this is the positive side, and this is the negative side. This is zero. The golden cross can happen below the zero line, or the golden cross can happen above the zero line. So when the golden cross, this is zero. When the golden cross happens above the zero line, or when the golden cross happens below the zero line, you can provide these two instructions to your robot. That when the golden cross happens above the zero line, let your robot enter the market. And when the golden cross happens below the zero line, let the robot enter the market. Is that clear? Give me a yes in the chat if you have understood. So you can instruct your robot. Robot, when the golden cross happens above the zero line, enter the market. When the golden cross happens below the zero line, enter the market. Is that clear? Can we go to the last step? Is that clear? Now, you have a choice depending on your capital. How many coins you ask your robot to enter when the golden cross happens below the zero line. You have a choice depending on your capital on how many coins the robot can trade when the golden cross happens above the zero line. Is that clear? Now someone is asking me, where is the zero line? What do you mean? I've told you these lines, there is a positive side, and these moving averages, they form histograms. Where you see green histogram is above the zero line. Where you see these red histograms, they are below the zero line. So you can choose. That's why I told myself I'll trade all the coins in Royal Q very soon, around 389. Give them MACD, and at least in a day, if half of them enter the market, and each coin gives me $5, I can automatically make $972 without doing anything. I instruct 50 of half of them below the zero line, half of them above the zero line. And each coin gives me only $5. I can make $972 a day without doing anything. Would that be a good deal, guys? Would that be a good deal? Would that be a good deal? I get 50% of the coins, instruct them to buy above the zero line. 50% of the coins, instruct them to buy below the zero line. I don't care which one picks and which one doesn't pick. If any picks, it buys. It gives me $5 each, and I can automatically make close to $1,000 a day. But that requires you at least to have $1,000 per coin. $1,000 per coin. So the goal is big. But the goal is big. Is it easy to have $1,000 per coin? Not easy, guys. Because basically, if you can't trade many, then it can't work for you. If you have understood, give me a one in the chat. If you can't trade many, then it can't work for you. That strategy can only work for you if you are trading many. If you can't trade many, then it can't work for you. If you are trading 2, 1, 3, the strategy can't work for you because you are picking a few. Some will pick, some will not pick. Is that clear? Give me a yes in the chat if you have understood. Then we go to how to use it. Give me a yes. Give me a yes if you have understood. Yeah, if you can't trade many, then it can't work for you. Because let's imagine you can pick 5 coins and none of them a golden cross happens. Okay? Hope that is home. Now, if you are opening a coin to trade, you can use this MACD, especially people who don't have capital. If I talk about automation, you can use this MACD in anticipation. You anticipate. You anticipate. Let me find a clear picture. For example, if these lines were moving here, you would see that it is happening below the zero line. So you anticipate that this crossover will happen below the zero line. For example, you can anticipate. So I have a question. Will this crossover happen below the zero line or above the zero line? Some answers in the chat. I will show you 2 pictures. Here it is below. But here, you expect this crossover to happen below the zero line or above the zero line? Answers in the chat. You expect it to happen below the zero line, above. Okay, so it will happen above the zero line. So with that anticipation, you just come here. Remember, we are trading in 15 minutes. You tap on create, martingale strategy board, understand, put in your settings, then come here on advanced options here, then choose. Now, here are 2 things as I am about to come to an end. You can choose one short or cycle. When you choose cycle, what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? Your robot will buy at the golden cross here. When the market rises, it will sell by your take profit. It will not buy again until there will be a second golden cross. So if you have coins you love, you can trade them for life. Can I repeat again? When you choose cycle, the robot will buy at a golden cross. The market rises, it sells. It will not buy again until there will be the same golden cross. It means that if you have coins you love, you can trade them for life. The robot will only enter them when there is a golden cross. Is that clear? Is that clear? Is that clear? Is that clear? The robot will never give you wrong entries in the market. It will happen at the golden cross. Now, question, does the golden cross control the market? Because some of you get excited. Now you will start trading without margin calls. Does the golden cross control the market? You know, I don't want to deal with people who don't understand. Does the golden cross control the market? So make sure you trade with margin calls. Make sure you trade with margin calls. Don't get excited. The golden cross does not control the market, but it gives you a good entry in the market. Are those two statements clear? Are those two statements clear? It gives you a good entry in the market, but it does not control the market. Now, this is the most important part. When should the robot make your first entry in the market? Then you choose the MACD. Now you have said MACD. When at the golden cross? Is it above the zero line or below the zero line? So you make your choice. Is it above the zero line or below the zero line? Then you make a choice. All right? These other things I'll discuss next time, but they're not important. Cooling, these cooling, they're not important. Is it okay? Have you understood? So you can pick any coin. The most common is usually below the zero line. You'll get golden crosses below the zero line. Take between 1.3 to 2%. Don't exceed 2%. Pick any coin of your choice, give it instructions, sleep. The robot will continue to do the work for you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for having me here this morning. It was not an ample moment for me to share with you. The call had a lot of disturbances location-wise, but I have nothing to do. Okay? So you can choose the coins manually. You can choose the coins in group. In the evening, we shall talk about how you choose many coins and give them the same settings. From me back to you, if you're not making money, it's your crime, it's not my crime. So make sure you work on it, and making money should be something as easy as that. Thank you so much for the 160 participants. I'm sorry for the feedback. It was not a very good area, but if you have been able to learn something, I wish you the best. Allow me check on my machine and see if I will be able to get the problem solved. Love you all, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure when you are working on your journey to success, never give excuses. Okay? Never give excuses. You see, the working environment for today. So never give excuses as to why you cannot do what you are supposed to do when you are supposed to do it. Okay? How do we make sure that the robot sells? As long as you use the MACD, when it will buy and rise by your take profit, then it will sell. It will not buy again. Is that clear for you, my brother? Have I answered you? Mawambu, have I answered you? So it will not buy again, even if it's on cycle. Doesn't matter whether the market is in a bloodline. Markets will always continue to give you profits.
Right.
Markets will always continue to give you profits. See you at 9 p.m. East Africa Standard Time. God bless you. Sign out.